The Patriots Pregame Show is presented by Dunkin'. You just got a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, hash browns, and a coffee for $6. Order now only at Dunkin'. Participation in times may vary. Prices vary in California and Hawaii. This is a limited time offer. This is the Patriots Pregame Show, fueled by Dunkin'.
He's throwing it toward Thornton, left corner of the end zone, caught! Touchdown New England!
The Patriots Pregame Show is your source for all the news and information before every game.
He took it to the house! Again!
Here we go!
The Patriots take the lead!
Patriots Nation, welcome to the Patriots Pregame Show, fueled by Dunkin'.
Welcome into the Patriots Pregame Show, fueled by Dunkin'. The New England Patriots back at Gillette Stadium after a strong 3-game win on the road, 4 in a row already. And the team, as you know, stands at 5-2. So we are excited to see what comes from today's game against the Cleveland Browns. Of course, Paul Perillo's here, Mike Dussault. I'm Kwani Lunis. Thank you guys for joining us.
Got a new little Patriots
I wore some
jacket
Patriots
here, too.
gear, a little
Look at
throwback.
you.
You know,
You're a little tired of the Giants nonsense.
Yeah,
that
you know,
people
it was getting too much. It was
really
too overwhelming.
Trying to distance yourself from the Giants after that collapse in Denver last
We're
week.
not even going to talk about that one.
Okay.
That was crazy.
That messed up my six-pack, by the way, too.
Oh, no, you went 6-0.
Wait, no. Oh, did I pick the...
You
See,
picked the Giants.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
That was a good cover. 6-0 on the six-pack. Can't believe we're losing to this girl.
I know.
Yeah,
feel
beginner's
for the
luck,
league, I guess.
guys.
We're getting
Beginner's
killed.
luck. But off the top, I think the biggest conversation is Myles Garrett. We'll get into that as
boy.
well. Yeah, I told you guys I'm scared already. I'm not even playing in this game. But let's talk about the inactives before we get into the nitty-gritty of the game so that we can know who will be playing and who won't.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think the big one off the top is just Kyle Duggar, who was injured and just continues a streak of the safeties have been banged up. Craig Woodson missed practice on Wednesday, was able to come back, but now you're going to have him. Hopefully he's healthy, able to go wire to wire. Jalen Hawkins has been battling a hamstring injury, so Kyle Duggar stepped up the last couple games and played a bunch of snaps for them, and now he's banged up. So that rotation kind of continues. You're back, I think, today to who the starting two guys were, but you just hope that those guys are healthy and not limited in any way. To be honest, this isn't a Browns offense is going to try to push the ball down the field too much on these guys, but still I think it's big for them to be able to, come up, make tackles, and prevent the big games.
And Duggar, I agree with you. It's not a huge deal because of the limited offense that you're facing, but you would like to have Duggar's, I think, physicality against the running game if they get Quinshon Judkins going. But, you can't have it all. Jalen Hawkins back in there. Craig Woodson, back in there too. Keon White is a name on this inactive list that, sort of stood out a little bit. Just not really happening for the guy in his third year. He got off to a quick start last year in Cincinnati with the multiple sacks. What do you have? 3 sacks or 3.5 sacks in that game, and really just hasn't been able. He's not a pass rusher per se. I think he's more of a well-rounded defensive lineman, but this is 3 different coaching staffs now, Mike, and it hasn't really clicked for Keon White yet. This is as healthy a scratch as you can be. It wasn't even on the injury report during the course of the week. So I think that's an interesting name to be included among the inactives.
Yeah, a little bit back and forth with him and Anthony Jennings, and I don't know if either one of those guys has really carved out a full-time role. I just think, and we talked about a lot this offseason, you saw them add these 2 defensive ends, Harold Landry, K'Lavon Chase on. Those guys have been pretty solid for you, but you just don't have much depth behind them. I'm not sure if Jennings or White really truly fit what they're trying to do, but we'll see if those guys, maybe somebody can continue to emerge. Maybe Elijah Ponder, the rookie. They just went and brought in this kid, Caleb Murphy, this week, who is also on the inactives list, probably still getting up to speed. Mike Vrabel said he's 4th down guy. He's had experience on 4th down. So I don't know if there's any kind of real, just third piece in this rotation right now, and that's a spot that as the trade deadline comes up in the coming weeks, I think it's a position to maybe keep an eye on. A third piece that you can really trust on every downs at defensive end would be a nice add for this team.
agree. And we had the callers in post game already talking about the playoffs, but the reality is you're going to want depth when you do get to that point in the season.
Well, I think
so
we
it's
all
good to have
my
that.
heart dropped when it looked last week like Harold Landry got hurt. He does so much for them. He's such an important part, both against the run and against the pass. So he, was a little bit limited, but he's back out there. So hopefully they can keep those guys upright. It's not unheard of. I always go back to 2014. I think I was freaking out the whole season long when they had Rob Ninkovich and Chandler Jones playing pretty much every snap the whole season long. They were able to make it all the way to the Super Bowl and win it with that. So, sometimes you can thread that needle, but when you look at areas on the roster, where depth could be a problem.
Yeah.
Defensive end, outside linebacker, that's a big spot. And I just, last point, Jelani Tavai helps a little bit with that as well since he's been out.
Yeah, no real big names on the Cleveland injury report. The one, just in terms of the drama and sort of the, the excitement of the game, is Shedeur Sanders is not active. I guess he had, they listed him they added him to the injury report with a back injury. They promoted old friend Bailey Zappi from the practice squad, and Sanders is inactive. I thought there was a chance that if the Patriots got a lead today, you might see Sanders play a little bit. But that won't happen.
So we'll get the Zappy revenge game that Deuce is hoping for.
I just want to mention real quick. I'm on Twitter, and there's some unfortunate news out of New York for the Jets. Nick Mangold, longtime center, passed away.
No, oh my goodness.
Very very sudden, I guess.
No.
Just seeing a quote here from Woody Johnson. Nick was more than a legendary center. He was the heartbeat of our offensive line for a decade, and a beloved teammate whose leadership and toughness defined an era of Jets football. Off the field, Nick's wit, warmth, and unwavering loyalty made him a cherished member of our extended Jets family. So the Jets and the NFL at large mourning the loss of, by all accounts, just a great guy in Nick Mangold. So I'm not really sure what, how that came about. If but too young.
Terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too young.
Terrible news. Big part of that Jets team when under Rex Ryan, when they were making a push on the Patriots 2009, 2010, 2011, those years. Sad to hear.
I just found out that he died of complications of kidney disease.
Oh, geez.
But like you mentioned, 41 years old. So
way too young.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He was a great player.
Yeah, really solid. Who was the tackle that was with them? I always
DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Yeah, DeBrickashaw Ferguson. That
one of the all-time great names.
They brought those guys in, and really without Mark Sanchez a couple of years when gave the Patriots a lot of problems. But now that's terrible. Tough way to start off the day.
Absolutely. And Ohio native.
Ohio State, sure.
State.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel, guy as well.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you for sharing that.
So we should also add, in addition to talking all about the inactives, they had 2 roster elevations as well with Terrell Jennings and Richie Grant,
safety depth as well.
Who stands out to you most?
Well, it's got to be Terrell Jennings. I just, last week you heard in the locker room, we found our 5-minute back. Terrell Jennings got some carries at the end to kind of, in garbage time to run the clock out. I joke with Paul this week on Patriots Unfiltered. I'm like, I'm not sure that means like you're getting a big role in the game just yet.
Baby steps.
But again, if they were to have the opportunity, I think though the way the game started to unfold last week with Ramondre having some room, looked like he was having a day. We've seen that happen a few times over the course of his career when it's on for him. But what I thought was most interesting, Paul, maybe was in Mike Vrabel's film breakdown talking about the touchdown that Ramondre had, where he was kind of stuck the ball out a little bit. And Mike Vrabel pointed that out and said, this isn't stuff we're going to do. So even in, success last week, a good week for Ramondre, especially in the first half, you see Mike Vrabel still pointing out moments where we need to have everything buttoned up.
I want to say the Carolina game on Hunter Henry's touchdown down the sideline. And, he got a little loose with the ball toward the goal line, same kind of thing. And I believe when he did the film breakdown for All Access, Mike Vrabel pointed it out for Hunter Henry as well. So that is something that was a huge staple for Belichick.
Yeah.
He was very anti reaching the ball out at the goal line, talked about the risk-reward thing. And, the risk is generally if that fumble happens, it's going in the end zone and it comes out and the other team gets the ball. Like you don't even have to, have the other team recover it. So that's something that he probably heard for years from Belichick, and he's been a stickler for it. So something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So let's get into the keys of the game, I think.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You waited all week for it.
The whole team's in the locker room right now just listening to this, waiting to hear what you're going to say.
Here are this week's keys to the game.
All right. Drum roll, please.
Keys to the
Deuce,
game.
I think
You want me to
you're
kick it
first.
off? Yeah, sure. So mine's don't get sloppy, and I think that to me is you've had other than that Pittsburgh game where they turned the ball over 5 times. I mean, you had one against the Bills, you had one against the Raiders, and otherwise you've had 4 games where you haven't turned the ball over. I think it's been a huge part of the formula for being successful. You can't regress today. You can't give this Browns team extra possessions. You got to be safe with the ball. It starts with Drake May under center, making good decisions, knowing when the down is dead, when it's time to, maybe just take a sack or whatever it might be. But biggest key to me today is be clean with the ball. Continue that. It's been a huge key for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and mine is go the extra miles. See what I did there? See what I did?
We got a
Look at
pun.
that. MYLES?
So as Mary Kay Cabot gets settled in here, who will be our guest
Oh, I'm so
for
excited.
Behind Enemy Lines, Myles Garrett is the best player on the field today
Absolutely.
for either
Without a
team.
doubt.
And the Patriots just simply cannot allow him to control the game and wreck the game. My guess is Josh McDaniels will devote a little bit more than just one guy to make sure that he is not in Drake May's face throughout the ball game. But he is a guy capable of causing turnovers, wreaking havoc. Have so much respect for his all-around game. That front for Cleveland is legit. Make sure that Myles Garrett doesn't come out of this game with, say, 2.5 sacks and a strip sack and, that kind of stuff, because I think those free points for Cleveland would keep the Browns in the game.
And we're going to talk to Mary Kay in just a second about him being hungry for those sacks. But before we do, mine is the opposite of the end of the ball, plug the gaps, because obviously we're all focused on the defense. We know that Cleveland's defense is going to be looking for Drake May and trying to stop his game. But I think with any game, you want to make sure it's balanced. I talked about this last week, making sure that the defense also, whatever runs that Cleveland does try to have and whatever scoring they try to attempt, make sure you're stopping them as fast as you can. All right, that being said, we have to introduce our next guest. It's time now for Behind Enemy Lines. It's brought to you by Pepsi. Game day is here. You know that. Stock up now. Grab a refreshing Pepsi Zero Sugar 12-pack now, because tailgating deserves better. All right, without further ado, we've longly taken Mary Kay Cabot from Cleveland.com and the Plain Dealer. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
It's good to have you back. When was
pleasure.
that, Paul? It was like 2021, I think, was the last time maybe you were in our studio here.
Yeah, that was
my goodness,
that
so
was
long.
the Mac
Well, I'm
Jones.
honored to be here.
The Mac Jones era. When,
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
and the Patriots actually won that game big. We didn't know at the time just how much Baker Mayfield was dealing with shoulder injuries.
yeah.
He couldn't throw the ball that day, and
Yeah.
that was a big part of that game. But yeah,
Oh, Lordy.
okay, one of the all-time greats right here. Mary Kay.
Yes.
I'm well aware.
For sure.
Well, thank you very much.
Respect.
Mary,
Respect.
your preview of this game, I was telling them earlier that I'm scared of Myles Garrett, but mainly because of your article about the fact that he mentioned he winks at players, the quarterback specifically, when he's trying to intimidate them. But you also mentioned at the end of your article about how he's trying to add to his graveyard of quarterbacks, essentially. And Drake May having the success right now clearly is one that he's targeting. So from your conversations, what do you expect from him today?
Well, first of all, the graveyard is a real thing. Miles, every Halloween, decorates his yard
Stop.
with tombstones
Now I'm more scared.
of all the quarterbacks that he has sacked. So he would love to add Drake May to the yard. And so Drake is going to have to try to make sure that doesn't happen, and his blockers are going to have to try to prevent that as well. But I think that's going to be a key to the game, of course. What the Patriots can do to Miles and what Miles can do to beat that. And he's hungry. I mean, he is really rearing to go. They're excited to play this young quarterback who is off to such a rousing start. They want to get him off that mark. They want to rattle him, and they can do it from the interior and the exterior. And that's what the problem is going to be for him. They're going to have to try to find a way to block up some guys that are playing really, really well on the inside and on the outside. The guy to watch on the inside, for the most part, is Malik Collins. He's having a really, really good season. He's a savvy veteran. He's making it very difficult on quarterbacks, too.
Along those lines, too, I mean, Mason Graham, the rookie that you guys brought in, it just seems like they've got a whole rotation of those front four, and they're cycling guys in, and everybody's pretty disruptive. I mean, is that the heartbeat of this defense, those front four, getting pressure, making disruption happen?
Yes, that is the engine of this defense. There's no question about it. But those guys, when they are cooking, they make it nice and easy for the guys in the back end to roam around and make some really nice plays. And if you saw what they did last week against the Dolphins, the secondary got 3 takeaways, 3 interceptions. So it was a 4 takeaway game for the Browns, who traditionally have been a little barren in that regard. So, the rush and the coverage have been working really well together.
So the problem for Cleveland has been obviously the other side of the ball. It's Dylan Gabriel now, rookie, finding his way. Hasn't turned the ball over, but haven't been a lot of big plays. What does the offense look like with him? What are the differences, I guess, with Gabriel from what it was at the in September with Joe Flacco.
Well, the story of this Cleveland Browns football team right now is they have an excellent defense, of course, and they've got Quinshon Judkins running the ball really well, their rookie running back out of Ohio State. What they don't have right now is a passing game. They virtually have no passing game, and that's been the whole entire problem. They're not scoring points. When they do score points, like last week, it was because the takeaways led to 21 points. There was a pick six, and there was another almost pick six. So the offense is definitely points challenged. Dylan Gabriel is passing in points challenged. And if they don't get that turned around in a hurry, then the Browns are going to end up having to put Shedeur Sanders into the game sooner than they want to. Now, Shedor's not playing today.
Yeah.
He's inactive for this game with some back tightness. Your old friend Bailey Zappi is QB2 today. It'll be really interesting to see if Bailey gets in the game. He knows this team fairly well. He knows the Browns offense really well. And so he actually probably could make some hay. But Dylan needs to get things going, especially with his veterans, David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy. Those guys need to kind of come up off the mat and make some plays for the rookie QB.
Hey, Mike, I will keep Njoku in my lineup.
There you go.
There it is. Well, you mentioned it, though. You had the veterans, and then you've got the rookies with Fannin and Judkins. And, how is that all coming together for these, rookie quarterback, a couple rookie pieces, couple veteran pieces? Do they have optimism that they can start to click and find their stride?
Yes, but it's a work in progress. These guys are so young, and they're finding out when they go up against a lot of these veteran defenders, they're not always winning the contested catch. Dylan isn't necessarily taking the shots he needs to take to kind of open this offense up a little bit. He really needs to do that. If it's there, he's got to take it. And then on the other end, they have to catch the ball. The Browns lead, I believe, the NFL with 18 drops so far this season. So Jerry's been dropping passes. David has dropped some. Harold, who's a very, very nice, secure pass catcher, he's dropped some passes as well. So that's been a problem. I think it's a function of they had a four-way quarterback competition training camp. There hasn't been any continuity. Now Dylan is also a lefty. That might change things up a bit. So it's been a challenge.
I'm sure they're riding high off that win against Miami. Granted, they're a 1-6 team, so I think you take that with a grain of salt. But what do you think they will try to take from that win here at Foxborough today?
Well, I think, first of all, the takeaways. And as you guys know, Drake May does not throw interceptions, so they're going to try to get him to do that. They're going to try to rattle him into making some mistakes. They're also going to try to sack him and probably kind of rough him up a little bit and make him hear some footsteps. And he has been sacked. I believe his 22 are tied for second in the NFL. So you know that Myles Garrett is going to be on the prowl. And, of course, there are two rookie offensive linemen that are going to have their hands full today. So I think that's the key to the game for the Cleveland Browns is to get Drake May off of his mark, try to get him rattled a little bit, and also force some fumbles.
Mary Kay, I'm interested in your take. You mentioned the four-way quarterback battle, and nationally that's been, a story, just how that whole quarterback thing unfolded. I'm interested in your firsthand accounts of what you saw in the summer and what you expect to see going forward with how this is going to all play out.
Well, first of all, I think the idea was for Kenny Pickett to win that four-way quarterback competition. But he suffered a severe hamstring injury on the fourth day of training camp, and it just threw a monkey wrench into all the plans. He was really supposed to be the bridge quarterback this year.
Right.
And it just didn't work out. They ended up trading him to the Raiders, and then they installed Joe Flacco as the starter. Now, Joe, in this offense, it just wasn't working out. It's predicated on a lot of quarterback movement, keepers, RPOs, called runs, different things like that. It wasn't Joe's kind of game. And then also they had tackle problems. So he really didn't have the time that he needed to get the ball downfield. And he turned the ball over 8 times, and it was just time for them to go in another direction. Now you see Joe excelling for the Bengals. Nobody's overly surprised about that. And Dylan is still having a hard time with the passing game here. I think they'll stick with Dylan for a while. And then if he doesn't generate the offense that they need him to, at some point they'll turn it over to Shedeur.
Mary Kay, no.
I was just one more for me. Mike Vrabel was with you guys last year in Cleveland, spoke so highly of just the whole organization, giving him that opportunity, learning a little bit about the offensive line. Just, what was your impression last year having Vrabel around? And, is there any mention this week of, the impact he maybe made when he was around last year?
tons of mention of the impact that Mike Vrabel had on that football team last year. Of course, he's an Akron native. One of the first things I asked him in the interview that we were able to do with him at the Greenbrier part of last season was, did he eat dog bones as a kid? And he said, yes, he did. So, he has that badge of honor as a Cleveland Browns fan. So Clevelanders absolutely love Mike Vrabel. Of course, Ohio State, Akron, and all those kinds of things. So it was great to have him around. And he established a toughness. He brought that tough as nails Mike Vrabel vibe to the Cleveland Browns, and those guys still talk about that.
Well, Mary Kay, we could talk to you for hours, as you can tell, but thank you so much for your time. Where can we find you online? It's right there, but
at Mary Kay Cabot on Twitter, and then everything's at cleveland.com. So it's all there.
And before you head back up to the press box, you have a prediction for the game?
Oh, yes.
I actually picked the Browns to win this game.
Really?
In an upset because of the strength of their defense. I don't know how they're going to score any points. It would have to be the defense scoring some points.
Which happened last week.
But I picked
I'm glad
it.
I asked.
I just thought that perhaps maybe the Patriots were ripe for a little bit of an upset, so I went with that.
Sounds like a plan. We'll see.
Great
Thanks
stuff.
for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mary Kay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the formula, right? That they're going to need to set up Dylan Gabriel to put some points on the board the way they did for Miami, because that's how they got all their points against Miami. At some point, do you have anything in the back of your mind, Mike, that you worry about Drake May? How many, this 4 games in a row without a pick?
Well, hearing Mary Kay be like, Drake May doesn't turn the ball over, I'm like, this has been a great development this year. But what we saw, last year was that there
two
were
a day. They called him two-a-day May last year, and it was like this year he's been really, really good with the ball. The fumbles, to me, I'm a little bit more worried about today. Last week, there were 3 different times where the ball sort of got knocked loose from Drake May. They didn't lose that. I don't know if they were any of them were official fumbles, and they didn't lose any of them. But that's something to keep an eye on.
And right now, we see Drake May warming up. We just talked about him. The QB gearing up. The weather's pretty nice outside. Well, I know we love talking about weather.
It's good
it's
football.
chilly,
Gorgeous.
Good football weather. It's gorgeous. It's good football.
Great
weather.
fall day. This is
Who's that?
It's the time of year you love, just walking into the stadium and smelling the grills and all the fans getting hyped up. And let's talk a little bit about the Patriots coming home today, and that's a big thing we heard them talk about all week, making this a tough place to play. I mean, last time we saw this team, we didn't really know which way this direction this season was going.
Exactly.
They pulled out a big win at Carolina. It felt great to get that win at home. But now you come back after 3 wins on the road. These fans should be fired up. This is a Browns team that you have an opportunity to move to 6-2 on the season. You got to play well, though, and that's what I'm excited talking to other people. Just excited to see a new challenge for Drake May. This is definitely the best defense. Everybody's been saying it that they've seen so far. We've been pumping up Myles Garrett left and right, but good new challenge for this offense going against this Cleveland defense. And I think we all kind of see it the same way. They got to move the ball, they got to score points, but they got to be safe, and they can't give Cleveland short fields and set them up for easy points and all that kind of stuff. You do that, it's going to be a game, but it should be a great day for football here at Gillette Stadium.
I was interested in the way that Mary Kay talked about Dylan Gabriel and his sort of unwillingness to try to push the ball downfield. And I think that could be a big thing, too. That it's one thing to have sort of a limited offense, but if it's because he's like a lot of rookie quarterbacks and is unwilling to sort of take some chances, and the NFL Open is not the same as college Open, and maybe he's just not trusting what he sees. It's not a great receiving core. Jerry Jeudy is by far their most accomplished receiver. Mary Kay just explained he's had trouble with drops this season, but all it takes is one day. Like, I'm not asking them to go like the next 10, 12 weeks and all of a sudden become an explosive offense, but can they be a little bit better offensively than they've been for one day? Maybe. This is why I'm focused on the Patriots defense today. Can they make one of these limited offenses look limited? Come out from the start of the game and dominate, not the way it's been, for the first 7 weeks of the season, where the other team has looked really good offensively to start the game.
But we're going to talk a little bit more about that Patriots defense and how they can match up against Cleveland. Don't go anywhere. Patriots pregame show. We'll be back in just a second.
This Patriots pregame show is brought to you by Brunt Workwear. They make work boots and apparel that are built for the job site. Their gear is comfortable, durable, and named after the real workers in the trades that helped design it. Save $10 on your first order at brentworkwear.com/Pats or with coupon code PATS. And by Tostitos. Football fans know traditions matter. They're what inspire us to make masa in Tostitos the traditional way, starting with whole corn kernels. Discover your next tradition this football season. Head to the store, grab your Tostitos team bag, and scan the code for a chance to score an epic experience with the Patriots. Tostitos. Tradition matters.
The future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it. So the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience.
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
It's the biggest deal in breakfast, Dunkin's $6 meal deal. You get a medium iced or hot coffee, bacon, egg, and cheese, and 6 toasty hash browns. Dunkin's $6 meal deal is back.
Let there be ideas too big to stay ideas, and the software to make them soar. Let there be anything. Autodesk.
The future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it. So the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience.
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
It's the biggest deal in breakfast, Dunkin's $6 meal deal. You get a medium iced or hot coffee, bacon, egg, and cheese, and 6 toasty hash browns. Dunkin's $6 meal deal is back.
Let there be ideas too big to stay ideas, and the software to make them soar. Let there be anything. Autodesk.
This Patriots pregame show is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires. It's important to have confidence when on the road. With Bridgestone Tires on your car, truck, SUV, or minivan, you're riding on tires you can trust. They're engineered to give you peace of mind so you can focus on enjoying the journey. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Available now at Sullivan Tire.
Join the show by calling in at 855-ATS-500 or email at podcast@patriots.com. Now, back to the Patriots pregame show fueled by Dunkin'.
Welcome back into the Patriots pregame show fueled by Dunkin'. Paul Perillo still here. Mike Dussault still. I always say you're still here.
I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere.
Kwani Lunis. And it is spooky season, guys.
Ooh.
We were talking about how scary this Cleveland defense is looking right now for the Patriots. But I think that we talked earlier, right before the break, how we want this Patriots defense to be just as scary today.
I do. I mean, I think you're going to know it pretty quick. Like, it's looked the same the last couple of weeks with, young quarterbacks, first-time starting quarterbacks, and they're completing all their passes. They don't look disruptive. Thought it was telling this week when Mike Vrabel just, simply said, we've got to do a better job disrupting quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. And, I think we got off to such a hard start, and it's easy to look at Milt Williams, Christian Barmore, and be like, these guys have been really disruptive. Caleb Von Chason wins AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week for, his performance. So they have had some splash plays, but I don't think that they've been consistently disruptive enough, especially on early downs, which Mike Vrabel was asked directly about. And you can tell that it's an issue that they're discussing. Even the defensive coaches who talked this week, getting on the field, getting a fast start, forcing that first punt. It can't look as easy as it's looked the last couple of games where the other team just, and a lot of them point to, when teams come out, this is what they've schemed up. This is what they've looked at all week and said, these are the plays we know are going to give them problems. they're coming out, they're running those plays, and they're having a lot of success with them. So how can Zach Core, Patriots defensive staff, be ready for that kind of stuff, counter it early, force an early punt? I mean, you want to set up the game for success today, defer, get them off the field, go down and score 7-0. You know you're getting the ball back after halftime, and you're going to have a real stronghold on the game.
Yeah, I mean, and you had the numbers, Mike, about the early downs as the differences in the defensive performance when they can get you in 3rd and long.
Yeah.
They're at the top of the league.
Even 2nd and long.
But they're just allowing too many yards. And Vrabel said it this week. Zach Core said it last week. They're allowing too many yards on early downs, and they're allowing teams to stay ahead of the chains. And when they're able to get you behind the chains, they've been very effective. When they can dictate the way, it's the age-old thing. You know, when you can dictate the way you want to play defense, same on offense. If you can, maintain your balance of run and pass, and you're not predictable, you're going to have more success. This is why I want to see the Patriots defensively today make a bad offense look bad.
Yeah.
And they really haven't done that. I know that people are like, well, what are you complaining about? They're in the top 5 in scoring, and their 3rd down. The numbers are all great. They've played a lot of really bad offenses that have played about as well as they're capable of playing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The one performance defensively that I thought was encouraging was at Buffalo. I thought that they were okay that night against a team that is capable of scoring more than it did. I mean, that's a team that averages 30 a game, and they only had 20 that night. But Tennessee, I mean, Tennessee played as well offensively as they're capable of playing last week. They didn't hold them, behind any of their performances previously. They're one of the worst ranked offenses in football, and oh, by the way, you have another one of those today. They're all 32 and 31.
Yep.
Yeah,
depending on where you look.
Yeah,
Tennessee and Cleveland, the worst 2 offenses in football.
There's a weird statistical anomalies this year where it does. It's like, and there are only certain things I like. Points is a big one, and they're really good at points. They're 5th in the league, but DVOA, which is a stat that I like, which measures adjust to the opponent and the situation. How successful are you on these downs adjusted to they're 28th. So there is something there, and I think this is where you get to. This is a Patriots team you're starting to believe has something, and so now we're getting serious about talking about the defense. And yeah, they look at points and that stuff. It looks good, but I think there's a lot of room for that defense to grow, and it starts today. Mm-hmm. No one's going to give them any credit if they do shut this Browns defense down today, but we know what's lurking a couple weeks down the road with Tampa Bay, and we'll see what Atlanta looks like next week. But it's going to get tougher, and they've got to be better.
Yeah, that would be a good building block. And we can look at some of the numbers for the Browns defense. Yards per game, 256.1. They rank number 1 when it comes to their lockdown defense. Run defense, 82.4 yards allowed. They're ranking number 4 right now. So, like we mentioned off the top, the Browns really are not to be messed with. But what are you hoping to see with Josh McDaniels or Drake May's schemes today? There we have the numbers right there.
Yeah.
When it comes to making sure that these numbers do not succeed at Foxborough.
And I mean, I just said, Patriots are 28th in DVOA. This Cleveland defense is 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So, they rank very highly with these kind of standard metrics. They also rank highly on the other metrics. I would say to Josh, like Paul's point, making sure that Myles Garrett is taken care of. I think that's something that you can trust Josh McDaniels within the game plan. But they're going to have to play well. I mean, Mary Kay mentioned Malik Collins, who's at 30, having a great year. I mean, he's right behind Myles Garrett. And, that's such a fearsome duo. You've got somebody off the edge who's really, really good, and you've got someone inside to lead the way. And even Mason Graham, rookie, very disruptive. So a lot of challenges for this rookie offensive lineman today, especially, I'd watch Jared Wilson lined up on Malik Collins. The way these guys line up with wide 9 defensive ends, they're very spread out. It's hard to get double teams on guys. You can chip edge guys, but it would be very easy to isolate Malik Collins on Jared Wilson, and so those are the plays where you got to be good up the middle, because that's where pressure, forced fumbles, turnovers happen.
And I just would be surprised if McDaniels left these guys on an island, especially if Will Campbell and Morgan Moses when they're dealing with Garrett, because he's just too good
he's too mobile
to risk that.
How are they going to
kind of a situation? So I expect tight ends to be part of this. Fred Kirsch, during the course of the week on Patriots Unfiltered, mentioned the possibility of even having a 6th offensive lineman, which I would think would be more in run situations, but maybe even in pass protection. Maybe they just say, why are we going to put a tight end out there? Let's just put another tackle out there whose job it is, full-time job it is to protect. Maybe they do something like that. That would be out of the ordinary. But I just can't imagine that McDaniels is going to risk having Garrett, sort of blow up this game.
Yeah, one more thing I'd say too about the Cleveland defense is, they had 4 takeaways last week against Miami. Otherwise, it hasn't been great. I mean,
I think the word Mary Kay used was barren.
Barren, yeah. And that, to me, the way that they fly to the ball, they're very aggressive. It's man defense. So I just holding on to the ball, not letting guys come in and punch it out. I think they're going to be coming aggressively to try to get the ball, especially out of Ramondre Stevenson's hands. That's how this defense wants to play. That's the Jim Schwartz attitude, aggressive, fly to the ball. You can see it on their defense. So I just make sure you're securing the ball. Again, it just goes back to my key. The Patriots don't turn the ball over today, I think they'll be fine. If it's a couple turnovers, things could start to get a little dicey.
Stacy in Indiana actually emailed asking, with the Browns front four being one of the best in the league, like we just talked about, do you expect the Patriots to use more slide protection or chip help from the tight ends or running backs to help the pocket?
Yeah, I just think flat double teams.
Yeah.
Like chip or not, I just can't. You can't let Myles Garrett impact this game. Much like that they used to do in the old days. We had another caller who talked about Houston, with J.J. Watt. Now, my big feeling for those games was that was all about Tom Brady and his ability to get the ball out quick, understanding where the pressure was coming from. I don't know if you can ask Drake May to play like that. So you're going to need to give more attention to these pass rushers and make sure that they don't disrupt the game. And, the one really good thing about the way the Patriots' offensive resurgence over the last, whatever you want to call it, 6 weeks, they've really kept the pass attempts down. I think last week it was like 20 attempts. So even if you want to count the sacks and the runs, you're talking about 30. They're basically attempting 30 pass attempts a game. So stay out of that 40, 45 situation where it's a lot of obvious passing situations when they can pin their ears back. I think that's the key to keeping Drake May healthy today, or upright.
Yes, that's the key word, upright. All right, we're getting your calls and emails as we usually do. So we'll start with our faithful Patty in Agawam. I don't know why I said that way. Hi, Patty.
Hey, Patty.
Hey, Kwani, Paulie, Mikey, what's going on?
Hey, hey.
I'm gonna. Just a quick aside, rest in peace, Mangold, and prayers to his family. The Jets had a great run with Mawai, and then once Mawai went to Tennessee, they struck gold with Mangold, and no pun intended. But when I projected who I thought was going to be going into the Hall of Fame, he was on my list this year, even before what happened. So that's terrible, and prayers to his family. This game, I know during the week I picked 27-10, but I feel like this game could possibly get out of hand just because of Mike Vrabel's institutional knowledge of especially situationally of being in Cleveland last year. But I think we haven't seen a lot of screen game this year thus far, and I think if, like you said, Mike, if Schwartz is going to get a little bit aggressive, I wouldn't be surprised them running a few more screens than we've seen this year. And Paulie, your guy and my guy too, I hope they extend this guy. Kayshon Boutte, this guy's fearless. I mean, if he matches up against Ward, I don't think this guy's afraid to go against any cornerback in the league. And I don't think Drake May's afraid to put the ball up deep to him against any cornerback in the league either.
Yeah.
So, I said, you
got some time for that. He's not a pending free agent, so you can deal with that next year. I think there's more pressing needs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I see the game in a similar way. I just found it funny. It was like a Fredism right there. I picked 20-7-10 earlier in the week, but I think they could get out of hand. Like 27-10 is not out of hand. Like that's a blowout.
Yeah. I think you'll know pretty quick.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you on the post game show.
All right,
Thanks, Patty.
Yeah, I thought I'd just passing along a note that Mike Reese passed along from Vrabel's appearance with Zoe on 98.5, saying they had Ben McAdoo put together an opening script to test the defense this week with a focus on starting faster. So along the lines of, what we're talking about, and I just think you'll know. I think this game will declare itself pretty quick. Like you'll kind of know.
Well, and this gets back to Vrabel's year in Cleveland too. I think that he might be better suited to maybe predict what Kevin Stefanski might want to do with that opening script. It's no secret that teams have had success. They're going to look at what Carolina did, what Tennessee did, what some of these teams have done early in the games, maybe try to emulate some of that stuff, moving the pocket a little bit with the quarterback, easy throws, quick play actions, dumps to the tight ends, to the backs.
Yeah.
And try to move the ball that way. But I think Vrabel is in a better position to maybe understand what Stefanski wants to do, and that could give the Patriots a leg up today defensively.
Yeah, Vrabel also on Friday was kind of funny. We were talking about, like May picking his spots with running, and he's like, yeah, I'm not sure this is the week to try to go through all, it's kind of like 1-2, it ain't there, get out. So they're well aware that, this week there's not going to be a whole lot of time in the pocket, even when there is a little bit of time. So, we just hope Drake continues to, balance picking his runs. I love the slide and the slide and the drop. The slide and the drop. Like, don't kind of jump and then get hit twice and slide the drop first down.
That was the one that really bothered me the most when he got high load last week, and it looked like he hurt his knee a little bit. He got up kind of like, checking his knee out a little bit there, and those are the ones I think he needs to do a better job of avoiding.
Yeah, don't take hits you don't need to take.
Be safe. Nate in Connecticut.
Oh, Paul.
Oh,
look who we got.
Who was that?
Put the Paul alarm on. There he is, Drew Bledsoe, the man.
Put him in, Coach.
I didn't know was he staying with you this time, or
let me check my text.
Hotel Perillo.
No, I hadn't heard him.
PP.
Oh, he didn't call you?
New phone. Who did?
We hate when that happens.
Drew's looking sharp, though. I gotta say, this looks pretty good.
Chiseled chin.
He's the man.
Of course, also, shout out Lawrence Guy. Will be ringing the bell today. He announced his
retired
retirement.
as a Patriot.
The good old LG was a stalwart here for quite a few years. Good player.
It's good seeing old faces in Foxborough.
Yeah, you'll see him up there. He seems very excited. His wife's also pregnant with twins now, so good luck with that, Lawrence.
Might need to come out of retirement to pay for that one.
Oh, boy.
Let's see what Nate in Connecticut has to say.
Hey, guys. Can you guys hear me well?
Hey, Nate.
Yes, we do.
All right. So my opinion of today's game, I think the most important part is going to be both of our trenches, so O-line and D-line. With the defense that the Browns present to us, it's going to be really important that we protect Drake May. And with the run game that the Browns have, it's important that we need to stop that. Quinshon Judkins, he had a good game last week. Of course, it's the Dolphins. So obviously Dolphins aren't the best team, but still he's got a great set of talent that he's going to be going against us today. And second off, Keon White being a healthy scratch. With him going back to draft night, he didn't have the most excited emotion or reaction to getting drafted by us. With him being around for a while, he hasn't been, I shouldn't say he hasn't been good. It's just we haven't seen much improvement out of him. I don't know if his time is going to be here for long, or if he's going to stay a Patriot for a good amount of time. I think he might go to a different team to try and boost his talent. I really like him as a player. It's just I don't know New England for him. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Nate.
Yeah, I think we kind of heard. I mean, Paul mentioned it, 3 different coaching staffs, but you heard the same thing from each of those coaching staffs, like trying to find his spot, trying to figure out how he fits.
He just might be one of those classic tweeners.
Yeah, just doesn't quite, he can rush over guards. He can, be an interior rusher. I think there's a use there for him for sure. But, this defense, they ask so much to do of those edge guys. And a lot of it is just get upfield. But, sometimes they drop them out too. So he's always been kind of stiff to me. I think he would be ideal for just kind of like go get it, but it's been hard for him to beat tackles. Like I think the length.
Yeah, I would have thought this scheme would have been better suited for him, but it hasn't really worked out. And I agree with the way Nate said it. It just hasn't been a great fit. He's not without talent. You see flashes of ability, and the power is what stands out. That's what the coaches talked about: violence, power. He brings some of that to the table. I just don't think he has enough versatility to get a full-time role locked down. Like you said, Mike, you're asking him at times to be over tackles. At times we've seen him overpower guards, but it's like I don't think he does any of those things well enough to warrant more playing time, and he's sort of stuck as sort of a tweener.
Yeah, he's just, I mean, Chaseon's extreme example of just somebody who is twitchy and has bend to him, and and White seems to get, if he doesn't get
to
through
be
your own
honest,
power,
ideally in a perfect world, I don't think he's a full-time player, Chaseon, but he is much better at what you're talking about, the twitchy athleticism off the edge, getting after the quarterback, and sometimes he gets upfield in the run game, but he forces a running back to make a decision because of his quickness and athleticism.
Last week he pushes it out wide. I mean, he's not really, not on the stat sheet, but you can see his penetration caused that play to be blown up. So, yeah, it's a spot to keep an eye on, especially, I mean, halfback for sure, but also, one of those edge positions. And we'll see how they feel about Caleb Murphy, the kid that they brought in. I mean, doesn't sound like they have high hopes for him, but I think they at least feel like he might be a guy that fits kind of what they're trying to do. So, but they're continuing to turn things over, trying to find answers at that position.
All right. Well, time now for over-unders, because we're going to find answers about whether or not we did well this past week. But this one is brought to you by Aaron's. They're the official lawnmower of the New England Patriots, and they're proud to help Patriots fans get back to football. You can visit www.aarons.com to find your errands. All right, Paul Perillo. Where are we? It's right on the screen already.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh my gosh.
Mike, 4-2. Good on you,
Mike's
Mike.
making a
Mike was
comeback.
4-2. Kwani 3-3. I was 2-4, so I remained in the basement. 25-17 for Kwani. 24-18. One game back.
I'm on your heels.
For Mike, and
this is
the other
stressful.
guy is 18-24.
I heard about him.
Loser.
He's on a show or something.
Loser. He's a loser.
Not at all.
You're good enough.
All
you're
right.
smart enough, and people like you, Paul.
We're going to affirm you every single week here.
Well,
All right.
unfortunately, I give you guys a lot of need to have to do that because I
know.
stink.
Sorry. All right. We're going to start with Drake May passing yards. That's at 222.5 yards.
Oh, I'm gonna go over on this. Drake is just
Under?
And I'm over.
Over? Okay.
I just think Drake and Fuego, and I think he'll push the ball down the field a little bit against these guys.
I'm going to take the under. And the reason for that is the Cleveland Browns only allow 173 in change per game through the air. So I'm going to say they keep that going. There's a big gap between 173 and 222. I think I can live in that.
Well, there's a
Fingers
big gap
crossed for
between
you.
Drake May and the rest of the quarterbacks in the league right now, Paul.
Mic drop. Oh, that was actually no
Did he have
pun
a good
intended.
game last week? Did Drake May have a good game last week?
Threw some passes.
Yeah, how many yards did he throw for?
I don't know, 400. Is that what it was?
Well done. I'm going to take
I
the
forget.
over on that as well.
I forget.
I forget. I'll take the over.
Only there was a way I could look that up.
understand your sentiments, but
When you just make up the facts,
it's always right.
And now you get me, Mike.
All right, up next we have Drake May pass attempts. That's at 29.5.
Oh, that's Pauly.
29.5. I'm going to take the under. I think they want to keep that lower the way they've done a nice job of recently.
He goes
Drake
over
made
this.
222 yards last week, by the way. 222.
Interesting.
That
So-
half yard.
Not so much of a problem for Pauly.
So is that half? I'm going to take the under on this one.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think if he throws 30 attempts plus, I think
That's
we're in
desperate
a game
times.
that no one expected.
Yeah. Up next, we have total number of field goals made. That's at 3.5, and I will take the over.
Over with conviction.
Over with conviction. Just stand with your pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over too. I think Cleveland will kick at least a couple of them.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Over.
There we go.
I think the red zone defenses will be a little bit, but I think the Patriots' red zone defense has been better as of late. So if Cleveland gets down there, they should be able to force some field goals.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. Up next, we have
This is a good one.
Sean Junkins.
Oof. Yeah.
Rushing yards.
So this would be a season high given up by the Patriots, Mike. 69.5.
Is 69.5 still nice because it has a half?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, Gronk would say so.
Yeah, I think so.
69.
Thank you. I love a sound drop.
I really like this line. I mean, the Drake May pass attempts. That's like if this goes over, it's gonna be crazy. But Judkins, I feel like if he's rushing over this, then it really might give the Browns the spark of life that they desperately need. But I'm gonna bet on the Patriots defense. I'm gonna stay under. They keep it going.
I'm going to take the under as well for the same reason why I took the under on Drake May passing yards. Cleveland, the Patriots haven't allowed a single 50-yard rusher all year. I'm going to stick with the trends. There's a big gap between 50 and 70. I'm going to take this.
We're 3 for 3 on the unders. All right. Up next, total touchdowns, 4.5.
Ooh,
why did I take the
a lot of
over on field
touchdowns.
goals? Right.
Paulie, what do you got?
I'm going to take the under. I just don't see Cleveland getting any or many. Let's put it that way. Maybe they get one. That would mean Patriots would have to score 4.
Yeah.
See how I did that quick math in my head?
Well, you're smart. Look at you.
Under.
You don't have a calculator?
I'm going to be crazy and go over.
Ooh.
Yeah. Why not?
Sugar.
That's the game I want to see.
Yeah, this is a good number. Shoot, I'm gonna go over.
Yeah?
I think I hit 5.
This is how I end up in
You're
last
on an
place.
island. You might be
I'm
right
trying to
this
pound
week.
nails into Paul's coffin right now.
And then last but not least, right, 42.5 total score. Do your maths. Oh, I guess I'm first, right?
You are.
I am, 42.5 though. Divide by 4. I'm going to take the over.
Taking the over?
Even though it doesn't really make sense.
Oh, shoot.
Math not my strongest
I know, I'm
suit,
doing
guys.
my math and it doesn't make sense.
I was a comms major for a reason.
It doesn't make sense with my total touchdowns or my final score, but I'm gonna go under on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking the under as well. I don't believe in the Browns' offense to muster much, if
I don't know if they believe in their offense yet either. We'll see. All right, time now for the Sunday Six-Pack. It's brought to you by the Massachusetts 250 campaign, commemorating a history of possibility. You can plan your revolutionary weekend at massachusetts250.org. All right, how did we do last week, Paul?
So last week, Kwani went 6-0.
Jeez.
Mike 4-2, and Poopy Pants 2-4
I think
again.
there was an error because didn't I take the Giants and they
You did.
lost
They
by
covered.
1?
They
They
covered.
covered. Oh,
Yes.
see, okay. Here I'm
See?
trying to be honest.
We're losing,
My
and
cover.
she doesn't
I don't
even know how
when
to
I'm
play.
playing the game.
Okay, Mike.
Yikes!
Mike, it's time to wake
That's
up.
hilarious.
She's beating us, and she doesn't know how to play.
Okay, I do know how to play.
Okay, 22 and
forgot about
16.
the
She's not just winning, by the way.
forgot about the
22 and
spread.
16. You and I are below 500. 18 and 20 and 17 and 21. So
What do the Sharps know?
we stink. We stink.
apparently
But
sharp.
Kwani, good.
Good.
Thank you, guys. Again, beginner's luck always helps. All right.
Don't say that. Just say you know.
You're right. You know what? I know what I'm talking about,
Right.
and I'm making good
The
decisions.
Swami, the prognosticator.
All right, up first in this week's Six-Pack, we have Miami at Atlanta. Atlanta with 7.5.
7.5.
The spread.
So Michael Penix not playing.
He's
All
out.
right.
Drake London's out.
Kirk Cousins with no Drake.
Speaking
London.
of,
oh, boy.
right on the screen, as we talk
Bijan.
about
Shoot, I'm gonna
this. I know, stressful.
just take Miami. I just think it's a close game. How about that? I'm gonna take Miami plus 7.5.
Ooh.
I'm going to take Atlanta. I do think there's a chance that Kirk Cousins, a year removed,
Got a chance maybe to get traded. Maybe I don't
maybe
know.
he comes in and just lights up a team that I think is in utter disarray
They are in utter
Miami.
disarray.
This is more of an anti-Miami pick than a pro-Atlanta
hear
one,
that.
but I do think there's a chance that Kirk Cousins has a big day today.
I don't believe in the Dolphins at all, but after getting embarrassed last week by the Browns, I want to imagine they'll do better. So that's the rationale in me picking them for this week. But again, I don't really believe in them.
And we're one pick in,
Have to
and I
just
already
claim it.
am on an island.
All right, up next we have the 0-7 Jets at the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati with 6.
So I like the Bengals
Yeah.
with Joe Flacco. I think that those two receivers are liking the idea of having a guy who can get the ball to them, push it downfield a little bit. And as Flacco said, if you can't get these two guys involved, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ride the Bengals.
I'm
here.
with you on the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the Bengals
Yeah,
too.
I
Let's all get on the Bengals.
That's the one wise decision we all made
There we
today.
go.
All right, up next we have the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia with 7.5.
That's a good one.
Oh,
do you got,
I'll
Kwani?
take the Eagles.
You gonna take the Eagles?
Because
lay the points.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I don't
I
know about this matchup.
I feel like the Giants are gonna just continue to play fast and loose. I'm gonna go with the Giants.
There
I
we
still
go.
think Philly wins, but I'm gonna take the Giants.
Look
plus
how the
7.5.
turntables turned.
They have.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles here. I think there's a chance that they win this one going away because they're going to remember the game a couple of weeks ago that the Giants beat them, and I think the psychological damage of losing the way the Giants did, I think, could linger.
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Up next, Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Tampa 4.5.
Mike? Uh,
Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
I'm gonna.
Tampa.
You know, I Yeah, they continue to cycle guys in and out, but I think they're getting a little healthy there for the Bucks. I'm gonna take the Bucks. I'll lay the 4.5.
Yeah, I like the Bucks in this one as well. New Orleans not really generating a whole lot consistently offensively. I'll take the Bucks, even though they're
the
on the
Saints
road.
at home, just because. So I'm on an island now.
That's how you go 6-0.
You know, I got to make risky decisions.
Yeah.
All right, Washington Commanders at Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City with a 12.5.
That's a big spread.
That is a really huge
I like
spread.
Kansas City. I like the way they're playing offensively. I think that they're quote unquote back.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of points. Commanders getting some players back. Looks like McLaurin and Debo are in. I know they'll be dealing with Marcus Mariota, but Mariota's gone into Arrowhead and beaten the Chiefs in a big game before. So I think he can keep it close enough. I'll take Washington.
I'm going to take Kansas City.
Kansas City.
At home. I'm sticking with the home teams now.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll the dice on Kansas City too. They scare me. I hate picking against them.
Yeah, generally speaking. All right, last but not least.
Opportunity, Paul. Opportunity knocks.
We'll see.
It goes your way.
The best for last, as usual. The Cleveland Browns here at Foxborough against the New England Patriots. New England with 7 on that one. You guys know who I'm picking at this point.
You're up. You're up.
I'm picking the Patriots.
You gonna pick them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time I have it now at this point. And I'm not pandering. They better win this one.
Yeah, I got the Patriots too. I'm going to say Patriots 28-13. Just, want to see him get off to a good start and would love to see, just continue to see. I don't think Drake's going to complete 90% of his passes today, but just to see him continue to stay on this white hot heater he's been on. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if he can just avoid any turnovers, even if there's one, but just don't limit the turnovers, I think they'll be okay. But it's getting more exciting by the week watching this kid play, and I'm just more than anything excited to see how he does against this new challenge here today. So defense get a stop right out of the gate. Patriots roll.
So I think the Patriots are going to win this game, and I don't think there's going to be very many times during the course of the day where we're frustrated and wondering, why do the Patriots keep doing this? Why do they keep letting these teams? But I do respect the Browns defense. I think that they will keep them in the game and they'll make it a little bit more lower scoring. I don't think Cleveland will ever threaten to win it, but I am going to take the points and say that the Patriots win, say maybe 20-16, something like that, with the last score going to Cleveland. Not really that close. Maybe it's 20-10 or 20-9, and Cleveland gets an by the way touchdown, a backdoor cover. I don't think the Patriots will be in trouble today, but I do respect the Browns defense.
Yep, got to.
Before we close out, I'm going to read one more email from Steven in Fort Drum, New York, because we didn't talk as much about the run game in this pregame show. He says, I'll be curious to see how Henderson and Judkins will compare today after each seems to be facing a defense that feeds their skill set. Henderson in a space against hyper-aggressive defenses, and, of course, Judkins against a soft secondary. Yeah. What do you two think?
Yeah, I don't know how apt to compare. These guys both went to Ohio State, but, this is what Judkins is meant for. Yeah. Early down carries, pound the ball. Henderson has had a learning curve playing on third down, playing against the pass and all that. So, the usage is going to be different, and that's, part of when you chose to take this guy. This is what you were,
At some point, Henderson's probably going to flash and have a game, but it's almost impossible to predict when it's going to be at this point. I'm with Mike. I think this game is more about Stevenson in Judkins than it is Henderson in Judkins.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's like, again, I'm not giving up on Henderson, but I don't think he's an every down back. I think he's a third down back. He might get in space and make a play or two, but Judkins is the guy that's going to be, Cleveland wants to get him 15-plus carries.
Yeah. And try to get Henderson in space a little bit. I just think there's been a lot of runs with him up the middle. I think we'd all love to. They tried screen passes, and they just look kind of clunky, or they've gotten blown up and that kind of thing. So I agree with Paul, though. It's a matter of time until Travion Henderson breaks a play. Like, he's too good, but, you want to see some of what we saw this summer, which was, in some of those preseason games, guys that, taking contact at the 6-yard line and bouncing through and getting upfield and picking up additional yards after contact. So that's, where I'd like to see Travion, but it's a matter of time before he has a big game, and then everyone will be like, all right, more.
That's always how it is.
Patience.
It just amazes me every week. It's all about his usage. Like, it's all the coach's fault every week. At some point, you got to be responsible for your performance.
Yep.
Very fair. Well, that does it. Time flying once again. It's almost kickoff time here at Gillette Stadium. Thank you so much for watching the Patriots pregame show, fueled by Dunkin'. For Paul Perillo and Mike Dussault, I'm Kwani Lunis, and come back after the show to get all the recap and analysis.
Hey, this is Alex. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.